So welcome back to another video. Apologies for the big break in videos, things have just been pretty hectic, and also apologies for the wind if you can't really hear me. Got a stinking headwind, but today we're doing intervals, 30-second intervals, 20 of them and 1 minute rest in between. So we start off with just supposedly an easy 5-minute spin just to warm up, which isn't always possible, especially when you've got such a nasty headwind. Your heart rate's just going to skyrocket, so just try and take it as easy as possible and keep the heart rate as low as possible, suggested between 108 and 114. So the trick to a low heart rate is by having low cadence, smooth cycling rather than fast. Basically, by keeping your cadence lower means your legs are turning less, and in turn you're not having to do as much, keeps your heart rate lower. So currently got 3 minutes and 10 seconds left of this warm up. So 2 seconds, 1, 0. So that's us into the ramp warm up. So basically we start off with 5 minutes, just getting the blood flowing, getting the legs turning, and then we go into ramp warm up, slowly increasing the intensity from zone 1 to zone 6. So from my resting heart rate all the way up to max over 8 minutes. I'm currently way over the limit for my heart rate because this headwind is sucking the fun out of it. Try to take it as easy as I can, but the headwind just naturally making it harder, pushing heart rate up regardless. So we've just moved into the third stage of the ramped warm up, into 136 to 143 heart rate. So we're starting to build up to zone 3. Quite easy. This headwind, we'll be out of it before we know it. So as anticipated, the wind has now died down just as I start filming, but heart rate is still out the zone as we're just about to move on to the next stage. Right, as the wind picks back up very strongly, 20-mile-an-hour headwinds, about as unenjoyable as it gets really. As well, just for some updates really for the channel and me, now training 9 times a week, 3 gym sessions, 6 bike sessions. It's pretty full on, absolutely loving it. It's so much fun. This wind is not, but coming up 2 weekends time, be back up in Fort William with the hope that the brand new blue should be open, and hopefully get some gondola laps of each trail, each gondola trail at Fort William. We've now just moved up to 172 to 183, so starting to get into the higher zones, zone 5, zone 6, which obviously requires more power through the pedals. At this moment I'm not going to be racing SDA Fort William, unfortunately. A coaching course taking priority. It's a shame, but got to look at the bigger scheme of things, and racing doesn't take the priority at the moment. There we go, another heart rate zone up. So that's the first sort of 3/4 of the warm up done. As we move on to the final 2 minutes at max, there's a segment just through here to the top of the hill which will take about 2 minutes. Last time I did it, it was on the white, which is a good 6 or 7 kilograms lighter than this thing, but we'll give it a go, we'll just see. And I did not have all the kit on me that I did, that I do now, sorry. So we'll give this hill climb a go and see how the times compare. So heart rate's starting to come back down now, 145. 3 minutes rest in between the warm up, the main session, sorry, just to rest you a bit more so you've got puff to go into the actual efforts. But as far as a warm up goes, it's pretty nasty. I definitely don't recommend it, especially with a headwind. But on to the next. So frustratingly, I've realised in the editing process that I didn't actually film the hill climb at all. But basically, times compared from my previous best, I took 13 seconds off it, which I'm really happy with because I was in a lot less kit, no knee pads, no backpack, and a much lighter bike, and just missed the KOM by 5 seconds. So definitely going to get back up there again soon to steal it. As we move into the final 20 seconds of the cool down, heart rate's back down to zone 1. Pretty awesome view up here as we move into 4 seconds, and if I'm right we should have about 30 seconds rest. Yep. And after 30 seconds we've got interval 1. We'll do the first 10 up here and we'll finish the final 10 heading home. On that topic, I'm hoping to film more regular videos. Well, here we go. Here's interval 1, hard 30 seconds. So drop in, interval 5 has just started. Now, intervals on the trails are very different to intervals on the road, because when on the road your heart rate needs to come up by actually doing something. Your heart rate on the trails just comes up from riding. At this point I apologise for the camelback sneaking into the video, and both the shakiness of the video. Unfortunately, during the hill climb I turned my suspension off and just completely forgot to turn it back on, so it's just made some of the video quite shaky, so I apologise for that, and on to the next. It's going to be nice and high at 168. So 30 seconds rest and then we're straight back into it. My legs are like lead, they just are not working today. A nice big hard gym session yesterday doesn't help well to come into intervals, but as the next one started, as you can tell, I've not really upped the pace much from rest to now, because I know that this hill is going to bring my heart rate up without me having to do much more. And with the headwind, it's more than enough. I've got a relative effort perception chart, which is how I measure how hard each interval goes. That rather than using my heart rate to tell me how hard I'm going, you use your gut, because heart rate can be influenced up and down various different ways. It's got nothing to do at all with the effort you're putting out. So this is number 6 or 7. Again, just keeping a nice comfortable pace. So we've just moved into 5 minutes rest time, which is very much appreciated, in which I use this time to refuel. Get a nice big drink, because by the time you start again, the water will be gone, you won't get a stitch. In the water we have got electrolytes, because it's so hot, you're sweating so much, you need to get the salts back in when you get cramp. So a nice big drink and almost a fly for some extra protein. This will be one of the last before we move back out and head home, because we got an hour session today and don't want to be out for more than that, because we've got a very nasty session coming tomorrow and another 2-hour gym session. Back to footage there, I really do apologise. The quality was not good. My watch is frozen. Oh no. There we go. So I've adjusted it and hopefully it's better. This is just a big hill bomb on the white. Managed to hit 50 mile an hour down here, which feels really fast. We're not risking it today. We'll still go nice and fast, but some fire road bomb. Especially when it's so loose. It's just like riding down Fort William, but instead of just going 50 mile an hour on the motorway, you're going 50 mile an hour down the whole of Fort William. 25 seconds of rest left. After, well, heading back now, the hope is that we've got a tailwind the whole way home, because we had a whole headwind the whole way here. But some may know my my luck with wind isn't good, and that's another interval go. There'll no doubt be a headwind. On a lighter session I'll have about 125 ml of recovery drink. Also depends if I'm making food straight away when I go in, if it's lunchtime or dinner time. So there'll be another interval here. Yeah. Then I'll not have it, because I'll have food within half an hour of my session ending. I get the protein and carbs in that way. And obviously the more intensive the session, the more recovery I take. It doesn't just There we go, there's that interval done. It doesn't just come down to calories and duration though. For example, if I'm only out for 40 minutes, but if I've done 12 2.5 minute intervals, I will most definitely take a recovery drink, because it's been a very intensive session and my body needs it to recover. So it's a bit of knowledge and experience and a bit looking at data. Starting with final 20 seconds of rest. Quite a highly personal thing, is it just depends on how you feel and how you think you need to feel, whatever. But with a decent amount of calories and meal before you head out on a session, around an hour, nothing more than an hour and 20, your body will be able to sustain that fuel for that amount of time. You won't burn through it. So that's why I've not fueled, because I had a nice big meal before I left for training, and I don't need it. Important factor of training very intensively is your recovery, and that if you're when I go in, another thing really important is recovery. So when I go in, I'll do some stretching just to cool the muscles down, an ice shower, and then another 2 sets of stretching before bed. And another very important topic that most people miss is sleep. So each night I go between 8.5 and 10 hours of sleep, because that's when your body fixes the damage you've done to your muscles and everything during a training session. So if you're not recovering well, you may well not training at all, because you're just on a road to destruction for your body. As interval 10 finishes, we move on to the cool down. That is an insight into one of my training sessions, one of the 6 bike sessions that I do a week at the moment during the pre-competition phase. Pre-competition phase is basically real important to hold your fitness rather than to build, because you want to keep fatigue levels low, so that you're going into every session feeling fresh. As I said, I'm hoping to make a lot more content for the channel. It's just been pretty full on past couple of weeks with no time to do so, but the next video up on the channel should be really exciting, as the road sessions have been going very interesting, and it should be a very fun and exciting video and video series to watch. So for now, we'll catch you on the next one.